We engage in authentic conversations about our weekly entrepreneurial goals while exploring business, failures, success, and personal growth.
We're going to continue to work and get better at this, so thanks for tuning in.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Our vision will highlight a diversity of guests who are creatives, industry leaders, and individuals creating positive change within our communities. Join us on the Our Vision podcast.
Our shared journey to become better humans.
It's not only our vision, but it's your vision too.
FSU.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We have 13 minutes to make up for our hour this week. What's it going to be, Joe?
I don't know. We're gonna dive into maybe some stories. What do you think about that?
I mean, depends.
We have 13 minutes, so we had a 47-minute episode earlier, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Brittany's episode was 47 minutes.
Right. So I know quite a bit about you. And I know one of the things that you have talked about several times about taking me hunting. And I'm not a hunter, so I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I haven't hunted in years.
I know.
It's probably been, I'd say, damn, I don't know. It's probably been like 8 to 10 years.
I have not ever known you to go hunting, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
But you did enjoy it though, right? When you did.
Yes, I did. It was nice to get away. My dad always got me out every year from school for a week. And that was my escape from high school.
Now, I've been around your dad with firearms, and your dad's he's really safe.
Oh yeah. He was very strict with how me or anyone else handled firearms.
Man, it's evident when you're around him. I could tell that when I was around him.
He always stressed that anytime you're handling a gun, even if it's not loaded, always treat it as if it's loaded. Never point it towards anyone.
Now, how young were you when you started like doing fire? Like,
I think he started taking me hunting when I was like, I'm going to say like 12 or 13.
Seems like a good age to start. Probably.
So we started like squirrel and rabbit hunting.
Now, did you guys fire the gun before you went out, or like?
We would sight in our guns.
But even before all that, like as you're learning about guns before you go hunting, you didn't just put a gun in your hand and then say,
before that's a blur with that. I don't remember a lot, but I do remember him showing me how to properly and safely use a firearm. I went through hunter safety and all that. So
yeah, I think that's probably pretty important.
Yeah.
I'm sure you learn some things when you go through that course.
Yes.
At least it starts to make you think about what you do in case. Does it teach you when, like, if something were to happen, like an accident would happen, does it teach you anything about that? Do you remember or no?
If something were to happen, I don't remember
like an accident
that
would
so
happen,
much.
or like if you're out, because it seems like sometimes when you're hunting, you might be far away from everything. I didn't know if maybe there was like safety other than using the gun safely. Is there other things that they teach you?
You know what? Honestly, I don't remember.
It's all good.
We never dwelled too far away from civilization, I guess. Okay. We didn't. I mean, I would walk deep into the woods when I was younger because I loved doing that. Just being in nature. But yeah, I don't remember any kind of safety on if something were to happen. I know that you should always come out of the woods before dark, because it's very sketchy in the woods.
Yeah, I don't think I would want.
It's hard to see. It's hard to know where you're at.
Yeah, it seems like an accident can probably be more.
Once it gets dark in the woods, everything changes.
So you were 12, 13 years old. You start going out, you're squirrel hunting with Dad, and then eventually you do deer hunting. Is that, I guess, in Ohio?
Yeah, so I think I remember doing some rabbit hunting, and then he took me to Coho Dam to go squirrel hunting.
Coho Dam.
What
there was a funny
that up once.
Yeah. And I about fell over because you're like, well, I've been to Coho Dam.
Oh yeah.
And then we were talking about it. You're like, and then we were talking about what it looked like, and you're like, well, I'd never seen.
I've never seen the dam.
I think we were over at my parents' house, man, sitting around having dinner, and somebody asked you, like, you brought it up. Go, oh, damn. And then somebody said, well, what's it look like? And you're like, I don't know.
I've never seen
been
the
there.
dam.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Sutton's before as he's been there. But what you meant was, as you hunt, there must be some land around the dam.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like forest.
Yeah.
So
what do you, I've met lots of people over the years, but we never grew up around hunting. Dad wasn't into hunting or anything like that. So I never experienced it whatsoever. Nobody in our family that I know of. I don't remember any uncles really hunting that I know of or anything like that. But I have met people over the years. Matter of fact, when we rented a lake house from a guy who, for a few summers, who goes to Alaska every year, and he does fishing, and sounds like they do some hunting up there too. Because when he had like black bear in his house that we rented from him. But I'd never done anything like. What's the best spots you've ever found, Brad? Like for you, like, or maybe I shouldn't say the most enjoyable with your family or people you go hunting with.
Yeah. My grandfather had a cabin. He called it, what do you call it? He called it the Hideaway in New Matamoros, Ohio.
New Matamoros?
Yeah, so this is back in the hills. Like,
the holler.
I mean, there's some characters.
The holler.
Oh, yeah, the holler.
Moonshine and shotguns.
Oh, yeah. Like,
watch out, folks.
You know, your stereotypical people in the backwoods, you know.
Don't walk in there with your fur coat on.
Right. But most of them were great people. Nothing against those people. They're very enjoyable to be around.
All right, yeah. No, I'm just having fun.
Well, I have some stories.
So he had a cabin. He had a cabin.
He had a cabin, yeah. So I grew up
like rustic.
Like both sides of my family. Were hunters. So all my uncles on my mom's side of the family, they hunted. One of my aunts and my dad and my grandfather on my dad's side were hunters. Cool. And his brother hunted a little bit. So, yeah, on my mom's side of the family, my grandfather had that cabin. So me, my dad, my dad's father, and my mom's dad, and all my uncles would get together and go down there and spend shotgun season down there for deer hunting. The first time I had ever went down there to hunt was to squirrel hunt, I believe. And I do remember that time going there. But we had spent time there as a kid before I even got into hunting. They had trailers set up in a small part of the land. And then later on, as I got older, my grandpa built a cabin. So my grandpa, my dad, and all my uncles pitched in and built this cabin.
Oh, wow. Nice.
The Hideaway.
So that was a rustic cabin with no water? Is there electric to it or anything like that? Or no?
No, they actually hooked up water and all that to it. Yeah.
Nice.
But I think they had to bring the water. So they had a water tank there. So they'd have to fill it when they came. But it had all the amenities.
Yeah, what a nice, that sounds.
Yeah, it
nice.
had a big kitchen. It had a loft. It had a living room area, some bedrooms. So it was a decent sized cabin.
Little porch off of it, I can almost.
A big wraparound porch.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys would sit there and uncles would come and aunts and everybody and kind of have fires and hang out, and probably guys would go hunting and things like that. That really sounds nice.
So that's kind of what got me into that. So it was a family thing.
Yeah, there's something about, I mean, I don't hunt, but there's definitely probably something about being, even when you're hunting, sitting out in nature quiet.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Even if I didn't see anything, I still loved being alone, just chilling in the woods and taking it all in.
I would assume it's similar, like a day of fishing is a good day, even though you didn't catch anything. You're kind of just hanging out, watching. I don't know, there's been times where I didn't catch anything, but I see a bald eagle fly by, or a woodchuck, or different types of birds. I've seen, hummingbirds or whatever, just a bunch of deer run across the river and that kind of thing. Is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't catch a fish, I'd imagine hunting might be a similar way when you're doing those two activities.
Yeah.
Did you ever come across, see animals that like fox or different things like that? Or
I saw a deer. I saw one fox once, and it walked right up to me. I was sitting against a tree stump, a fallen over tree stump, and this fox came right up next to me, jumped up on the stump, came like from me to you.
Jeez, that's pretty cool.
And I just stayed super still. I mean, if you stay still in the woods and animals come around, you don't move or make a noise, they won't even know you're there. So it got like from me to you, and I decided to just mess with it, and I jumped up and scared it, and it darted off.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It sounds like it could have gone either way, though. I probably would have been a little spooked if I'd have been sitting there and something would have jumped up next to me.
So like squirrels, ground squirrels, like chipmunks and things like that. I saw grouse once. Those are pretty rare to see.
Or you know what I seen the other day?
And turkey.
Was it? Remember the birds when we were doing the fire burn? This summer, helping out the family burn their property.
Birds?
Yeah, remember those birds that come running out?
Were they
woodcocks?
Yep.
I saw one out here near the lake. I was walking and taking a trail on that one. It rustled up or whatever. I'm like, oh no, I know what that is. That's the second one I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing those.
No, and that was so I was really surprised when I seen that. But anyways, yeah. So it's always exciting to see a new animal. I guess that's why I was asking you, like, if there was anything you had ever seen. I remember seeing in Florida one time, not related to because I don't hunt, but the only thing I can add to this discussion really is like I seen bobcat standing on the side of the road. Thought that was interesting. And
I've always wanted to see one of those because they are around here, but they're rare to see. And I've never seen one. I've seen tracks. That's about it.
I have seen tracks, and I do know that there are some, or was years back by the Firelands College.
That's where I saw the tracks back where my grandpa lived back there. It's in that same wooded area.
So,
and I saw them back there. Yeah.
The lady that told me about it would walk that trail out there in the mornings, and it was up on one of the mounds, and she swears it was, and I believe her.
Yeah, there was one back there, at least one.
It's interesting. That's a pretty animal.
Yeah.
Like the coat on the fur and everything like that. I just find it to be a pretty animal. But has there ever been a time where you felt like in danger while hunting?
Yes. So my family, they used to put on drives where they'd push the woods. And it's something I wouldn't do today. It's just as a kid, that's what they taught you, that's what they did. And we were pushing through this one piece of land, and I think we were trespassing. I mean, my uncles they would do some wild stuff. But anyway, we were pushing it, and all of a sudden, I think I heard someone shoot, and I heard deer running, and a doe came up and was like probably, I'd say, 50 yards away from me, and it stopped dead in its tracks and just stared right at me. And then all of a sudden, I hear pow, pow, pow. And I'm like, what the hell? And I could hear the shotgun slugs zipping over my head.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And they were hitting the leaves above the tree that was right above me. And it was my grandfather down in the ravine. So I'm up on a hill. He's down below me shooting up, not realizing I'm up there.
Oh no.
So that's the dangerous thing. I'm surprised nobody ever got shot.
Yeah.
Because you have people pushing and people sitting. So
yeah, that'd be scary.
That's what I think the natives used to do back in the day.
I was just going to say that
because Robert mentioned that.
Well,
they would do the controlled burns.
The guy was doing the burns was talking about that.
Yeah,
which apparently was your father's teacher at one point.
Yes. Yep.
I wish I could remember his name offhand, but anyways,
John
is his first name, I believe. Yeah. So really knowledgeable. He was talking about how they used to light the prairies on fire and push deer out to.
So we're at 13.
Yeah. So. To hunt. So
yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
We made it to 13. So thanks for sharing, Brad. I like some of those stories I haven't heard before. So thanks for sharing about hunting.
Oh man, I have so many other stories with that. But yeah. So next week we're gonna have Will and Mike, the creators of the Sauce Moto, and they were on Shark Tank.
They were. And the other thing I wanted to say that we haven't been doing is like, please subscribe. Please give us some feedback, and like we need those reviews, and we'd like to have the critique back and forth.
Yeah,
so please take the time to do that. And you're right, yeah. So we're excited to have them on. Can't wait to. Well, we've already had them on, so it was a great interview. So I hope you guys tune in and check them out. And we're looking for our next guest, so we'll be lining that up this week. I think we're gonna take some time to do that, to have somebody else on, right, Brad?
Yeah, and so I know we're going a little over
the
time, but we're still around about 13 minutes. So anytime, so just so everyone understands, we've kind of changed what we were doing from the beginning. So since it's called Our Vision Podcast, we're limiting it to 1 hour for the entire week.
Yep.
So the last episode was 47 minutes. So we knocked out 13 minutes here. And
today,
if we have a short amount of time, we're going to talk about whatever, or tell stories. If we have a topic that adds relevance to what the format is, then we'll talk about that. So,
and today I thought it was relevant. You guys get to know us a little bit too. Listen to Brad's story about hunting and where he's at with that and his story. So it's one way to get to know us too. So thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We always want to keep moving forward. And, tune in for the next episode.